Hello. Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence. In Critical Data Concept, we teach you all that have to do with machine learning to the point of employability. You have to learn about supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, clustering analysis, regression, amongst many, are the topics that we take our time to teach. We have a faculty of well-equipped professionals that will guide you in this field. We have a lot of practicals that will be executed in the course of making you better. Critical Data Concept stands out among the best in machine learning teachings.
Welcome to class. Today is day 5 of our study into Microsoft Power BI class. It has been exciting all this while. We have been able to do a lot of things. We have been able to use this important tool of application to maneuver and get a lot of things in terms of analysis, understanding of the environment, and how to use it to do one or two important things. Today, in summary, we are going to ensure that we do this important key point. One is the use of SQL to get out our data. We are going to look at it once again. We are going to look at selection of tables, how to select tables, especially from a multi-dimensional table space using a database that is found in the SQL. We are going to look at relationships in the model. We are going to remember we have talked about relationship establishing the real crux or the core of visualization. Then we are going to talk about implicit and explicit application in Power BI. We are going to look at visualization using the composition tree and any other that may come to our mind. We are going to look at it. Visualization is going to, of the composition tree, is something that we need to look at. We are also going to look at how to format our work. An aspect of formatting will also be considered in today's class. So I think it's good that you keep up, you link up with us, and we'll continue to move into this important aspect. So I would not like to go back to my notes, or what we say, want to start a fresh one altogether. So for us to start a fresh one, we need to bring up our Power BI environment. So when I click on the Power BI environment, it comes up the tools of application. We are already conversant with what the front page is all about, so we can go straight to getting started. We click on get started and it brings us to this environment. Enter your email address. Except for now we are not using this, so we remove it. So we are going to pick data from the SQL. Mind you, it's Microsoft SQL. We have other type of structure query language which we are not using for now. So we click on it and it opens up for us. When it opens up for us, it will ask us for a certain credential, the server, what is the name of your server, the database, if you have a specific database you have in mind. So we are going to open up our SQL server in order to get our credential, and this is our credential. It is the name of the server that is hosting the SQL. Mine is desktop Q1P1DSS/SQL Express. We have some that are basic edition. This is Express edition. We also have some that are enterprise edition. Those ones are the ones you pay for, but Express, developer edition, basic are all free of charge. So I copy it, Ctrl C, and I go back to my Power BI environment and I click on where the server is required and I place it there. So I will now it is asking me the connectivity that I want to import or use direct into the query board, and I say I want the import. So I click on OK. So once I click on OK, it will not take me into the Power BI environment partially. It's going to open up in a few moments. So it's opening up. Expand this if I wish. So this is the server, and the server is hosting 4 database. Database is where data are stored in a particular dimension. We have um, um, like this structure query, this rigid kind of information. We have some that are not rigid. So we go to Adventure Works 2022, the data warehouse, which is the most heaviest of them. So I click on it. So to open up, Adventure Works will open up. These are the tables for the Adventure Works. So already we have started. So I decided to go straight to bring in data from the SQL query, SQL platform. So I open up my SQL to get my ID, and I also have opened my Power BI environment. So I brought in the ID, which brings up the database, and I've opened up the data warehouse 2022, and it's having 39 tables, as you can see. But of course, we're not going to use all the table. We're going to pick few tables that are going to be useful for us in order to do what we have set as target to do today. So we pick the team customer, we pick the team date, we pick the team geography, we pick the team product, we pick the team product category, we pick the team product subcategory, within team reseller. This dim you are seeing is dimension. It is just shortened. And we've also picked the fact internet sales. So when you count what we have picked, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I think we picked 8 that are useful to us. Now ordinarily when you have picked this, because I've said it earlier that most data are dirty, noisy, and very incorrect. You have dirty data that have empty spaces, that are not well calibrated, that the data type is not well organized, and everything is modeled, or sometimes you have a lot of introductions. Some are as put there intentionally by the inventor in order to protect his property, among others. So we need to clean it, we need to look at it to be sure it is specified in the right direction, after which we now use it for analysis. If you don't do that, you will not be able to analyze very well, and your work may not be correct, especially when you want to make forecasting and prediction. You see that it is giving you spurious data or result that cannot be used. So but for the adventure works, this is a hypothetical work that has been prepared by Microsoft company in order to help students to study how to use these tools of analysis like Power BI, like structured query language, even Excel. So it has been made a little bit better or almost clean. That is why we have such. Now you can see that all the data are not given. That's why data in the previous has been truncated due to size limits. But mostly when you have done this, the next thing you do is to go to transform. Except if you trust this work very well, then you may not be able to go to transform. So when you go to transform, I hope you are seeing my screen. Confirm you are seeing the screen.
Yes, I'm seeing the screen.
Okay, it's all right. So when you go to transform, you now look at the data once again. You'll be sure that the data is placed according to its type. This is numeric. Numeric are always aligned to the right. Whether it is whole number, which is identified by 1, 2, 3, or it is a date function. When it's a date function, you see something like a calendar, like a calculator kind of arrangement. And if it is a text, it will be aligned to the left. So the alignment that you are seeing is not only um, it's not only numeric but for text and any other type of data. And of course, when you see something like hash, it means that this is the place where the system is highlighting. And when you look up, it will tell you the data type that is there, that is whole number. When I highlight, let me shift to see if I can see a different type of data. As I move, I see, okay, I can see says other number. And if I highlight says other number and look at it, it will tell me that this is a text. So when we want to look at work, we want to be sure that what is written is correct. 2, we want to be sure that the name that is given is the name we want. If this is not the name you want, you can always change it. All you need to do is double click on it and you can change it. Whatever you have written will be saved. But we are not changing this. We can also add in column to your work. You can look at the unit is showing $sign, so it's monetary form. So it's showing this is money and it is correct. Extended amount is also monetary. So the sign is also showing you other quantity is whole number. When you look at it, this decimal number. That means it has room for, but you can see that it is whole number. You have the choice of changing it and call it you can call it whole number, or you can leave it at decimal, but it will not affect your calculation. But know it, but some people will leave it there. If you like, can change it. How do you change it? You come here and click on this. You see whole number. You can now say let this be whole number. You see it has changed to whole number, but let's leave it the way it is, decimal number. So decimal number is a float. That is what we say. So it's telling us something. Replace current, add new step, or also say replace current. Put it the way it was. You can also do that from this place. Any step you have taken, you can always remove it from this place by clicking it out. You see it is marked X. So when you click it to remove it, bring you back to where you were. So for you to look at this environment is simply called the Power Query Editor, and I've said it, you see it in Excel, and it's also available. Okay, it's in Excel. It is used for a lot of calculation, and it's good for you to know how to manipulate it. It has a lot of strong functions which you will come to see. So of course, this place has been telling number of columns we have 135 columns. So if you are counting this column 1, 2, 3 to the end, to give you 35 columns, and the rule is put on the top 100 1000 rows. Everything is not captured. It doesn't stop you from doing your analysis. And the name of your work is Start Internet Say, which I have shown you in the first class that you can change. Okay. Having said that, now by the time you have finished looking at your work and everything is in order, how it's supposed to be, there's no ambiguity, the numbers are arranged to the right and text are arranged to the left, and after that you can now do what? You can now go ahead and come to the close and apply and click it and click on close and apply. So once you have done that, it will bring you back to the environment, to the Power BI environment. Bring it back to the Power BI environment after it has loaded the work. So whatever changes you have made will remain. So you can now continue your work. So we have been able to bring in these tables and it is loading. By the time it finished loading, we now look at relationships. We are looking at relationships as how to do with this Power BI table. So it will give you a lot of information. Numbers of row still loading up for each. If you want to see more of it, you can come to this place and drag it down and see more, and they have finished loading. So it will now load. It has not finished everything. So you pay attention to this side. So once it has finished loading, the final information will come here that this data has been captured into the system. So once you have done that, you want to see what is inside, you just come here and click on anyone. You see what is available in dim customer, and if you're not seeing clearly, you can come here and drag it a bit so that you can see whatever is written there clearly. So you have address line 1, address 1, 2, birth date, the date the customer or the customer was given birth to, commute distance, that means the distance from where the person moves to come to buy. So you know it has important bearing. The person that will come closer may be buying more than the person that will come miles away. We have the keys. Keys are what links them to other tables. Date first purchase, the day the first customer came as a customer to the organization or the company is taking note of. Email address, English education, English occupation, first name. It can be French, and you know it's not only for English using country, so you only pick what you need and leave the rest. Has flag, or the person has flag. Geographic, what is last name, marital status, name, among many credentials. So you establish that whatever you are seeing here is already there before. That's what we should have in our mind. It's already there before. We can start now. So you can now close this customer. You can open dim date. It will give you it that have to do with it. You can also close it. So that is how all of them have important information embedded in them. Now, relationships are always seen on the top. The second one is the table view. Whatever we have done before we close and apply, can also be revisited from this table view. And this one is this one we are seeing. It is called the report view. This is where we do our joining and analysis and visualization. Now this one is the relationship, is model view. So in the model view, when we click on it, what model view will do is to show us the relationship. I can close this one so I can have a better view. I can also close this one to let I can open it. Now this is our table that we have brought up. Now the essence of, or the sweetness, or the essence of all this is the relationship that comes with it. Maybe it is too big, cannot see all. You can reduce the zoom. You can reduce it a bit so that by the time you finish seeing, you can also bring it back. So what we are seeing here now is we are seeing the relationship that is existing between all the table we have picked. I picked the table because I have already known them and I know what they carry. So you don't just pick table arbitrarily. At least you should be able to know what you want to do. Now you see that this is dim seller, this is dim geography, this is fact internet sale, this is dim customer, this is dim product subcategory, this is dim date, this is dim product. Now all of these table, they are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 tables have something in common. Something is relating one table to another table. That relationship is what determines what brings out the beauty in Power BI and visualization and insight search. If you want to have insight, it is this that gives you that extra edge. So you can see that when you come, you see that there's a relationship between dim seller and dim geography, and it is geography key, and when you click on this arrow, it is only telling you where the relationship is. This is geography key again. You can come down to see more. When you click it again, you get to where the key relationship is being uh, when the relationship is being established. You see there's a geography key to the two. Now when you touch on this, it will tell you the relationship product category key and product category key. When you click on this, this is between the dim product subcategory and the dim product relationship. When we drag this down, it will help us to know where the relationship is. And these two, when you touch any of them, it will show you the relationship. Some of them are not shown because of the size or the size of the columns in a given table. So all of them are relating. Something is joining one to the other. So it makes all these tables to look as though they are one table. Then I can pick something from this table and join in something from this table and to give me result. That is what it's saying. Okay. Now something else I want you to see, and that is this relationship we're talking about. This when you come up in our home page under manage, you can see how to manage the relationship. Now when you click on it, say you can add, you can edit or remove relationship between tables. So even relationships that are existing, you know, these ones are done by the system by itself. The computer or the platform has a kind of intelligence to detect what is what. And also when you look at this table, let me expand it a bit. When you look at this table, you see that there's a direction for the arrow. One is showing one and it is coming down, it's showing star. It is something very, very important. This is a one-to-one relationship. That means one key is joining to another key, and it is moving from this dim geography to dim customer. That is what this is telling us. Now when you look at up, you are seeing another one. When you bring it up, it is telling you dim customer and dim fact internet cell has a relationship, and it is from one to one relationship. When you touch it, it will tell you where it is touching or what is causing that relationship. So if you can able to move our yes, so that we can see what is, now you can see that customer key is in being customer and also in customer is also in fact internet cell. And if you look again, you see that fact internet cell has a lot of combination. It is housing many relationships. You can see 1 2 3 4 5, and all of them are flowing into fact internet cell. That's very interesting. So you see that this is just like one to many. And a lot of them are getting relationship. So when we click on this manage relationship, we can see some things. Now look at what this is, where this joining, this relationship that we have been tracing here is emanating from. Now what this, let's close it again. By the time you hover over it, it's saying something. It say we can add, edit or remove relationship between tables. So it's telling you that computer has joined. Because computer has joined, it's possible it will not join the way it's supposed to join. That's what it's simply telling you. So but when you look at relationship, you can see this one has already been checked. That means it is already in order. For table, we are seeing that for dim customer, geography key is joining dim geography. So geography key is the common key here. For dim product subcategory key is the joining keys here, both for dim product and dim product subcategory. Now for dim product subcategory and dim product category, you see that is product key that is joining. For dim seller and dim geography, it is geography key. Now but when you look down, you see fact internet cell will have other other date key and date key. They are not the same type of key, but they are being joined. Now you see that it is not checked. The one that are checked are the one that are directly related, but this one that are not checked are secondary related. When we are talking about key, we talk about primary key, we talk about foreign key, if you remember. Now primary key is the main key that is used to join another key. Secondary key is also located in a given table, but the secondary key or the foreign key may not be the primary key. And I say if you have a bunch of key, and in your bunch of key you have your car key, you have your house key, and maybe you have your office key. Now when you are in the office, the primary key is your office key. That is what opens the office for you to get in. Even though your car key will be with you and your house key, they become foreign key at that particular location and at that particular point. When you bring this key back to your home, your house key becomes a primary key, and other keys that are also good important to you becomes your foreign key. And likewise using car, this is what we are seeing here. So fact internet cell and other and dim date, the relationship is not direct. Something else has joined it, but there's a foreign key that is joining it here, which is the other key and the date key. The same thing for fact internet cell for ship date key and date key. And to prove that, let's go back again to our table. If you look again, you see that fact internet cell, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But remember, we'll have 7 or 8 joining. The other ones are not located there, but they are joined. So that is what we are trying to explain. So this relationship is what we use to manage our work and make it to come out in a very, very good manner. I hope it is well explained. So we're also looking at types of relationship. We are talking about one-to-one relationship. We are looking at one-to-many relationship. We are looking at many-to-many relationship, and we are looking at many-to-one relationship. Now, when you look at this table, for instance, you see that we have one-to-one. The table here, the primary key here, is joining with a primary key here. Even though it's moving from dim geography to this particular table. Or you talk about dim customer, when you touch here, we say it's still one-to-one relationship. You can bring it down to see where the relationship is coming, what is joining this relationship. So it's the geography key, but it is one-to-one between two tables, and it's moving from dim geography to dim customer. Now the next one is one to many. Now you can look at fact internet cell. We are seeing one to many relationship. Fact internet cell is one table, but it's relating with many tables. You can see that it is relating with dim product, it's relating with the table down, dim date, it's relating with look at the dim date again. You have some dotted line and we have some thick line. These are the indirect relationship. Now you look at here, it is relating with a dim customer. So this is one to many relationship. Now we have also many to one. When you look at dim date and the rest that are relating to fast internet cell, you can say it is many to one. It is still okay. One to many is still good. Where we have problem is many to many. That many to many tend to have a lot of confusion, and it may not always be good to use because it may give you result that is beyond your technicalities, and we keep it low. Then the last one is many to one. So having understood that, so this is what you see. So anytime you have any value, what you look at is the relationship. If the relationship is not there, you may only have few visualization from it. Like when we brought out our sample superstore data, it is only one table and it ends there. So whatever you are going to visualize will be from that table, even though it will give us something good, but the insight may not be very deep. That is all we were talking about here. Now we are going to look at other things again. So after we have done that, let's now go back to our report canvas. So please, as I'm teaching, if you have any question, you can always raise it and I will clarify it. Otherwise, you may be able to watch it again and again and be able to pick what you need to pick from it. So having gotten this, we are going to look at also at this our properties of this visualization now. You see what we have here is what? Build visual. Here is for what? Format your work. And anytime you talk about format, you are talking about making your work better. Most time I like people to use their hand to format, but it doesn't mean that I cannot also touch it, so that you see how formatting is done. And I believe that when you're able to practice, you become better and you become much equipped to get what you're looking for. So we're going to try to visualize what we have here. So the first thing we want to see if we can create a dashboard. And I said that dashboard is a kind of a platform that is able to give you a lot of insight at a view. And we also have static dashboard and we have dynamic dashboard. Static dashboard is just that dashboard that is just what you are seeing is what you get. Now for dynamic dashboard, you can continue to use just one platform to give a lot of information. Just by a click, your system will reorganize itself and begin to give us a kind of a different kind of view. So let us go ahead to begin to create our dashboard. So in creating our dashboard, we're going to use our tables here. We're going to pick some important things here and bring them here for visualization. Now the first thing we do is we look at our visualization band again. You see that we have different charts that can be used. And moreover, this line chart is always good for time graph, especially for people that are looking at trends. Economists, for instance, would like to see how things change over time, maybe how income grows, how family earning grows, how production grows over time from a given period to another. Now it is important to use time chart. Now for a value that is static, use bar chart, any kind of chart that is static chart. We now start to create a dynamic dashboard. So in the dynamic dashboard, I've talked about line graph, line chart, and other type of chart. The line chart is good for time trend and time lapse kind of workload that is continuous, a continuous data production. So when you want to create your dashboard, you start by coming here, look at your slicer. Slicer is very important. You click on your slicer. When you click on slicer, you can now pick what you want to put into your slicer. So we are looking at year time frame. So we'll go to dim date. Let me see what is in dim date. See if what I'm looking for is there. It's not there. Let's look at fact internet sale. Because fact internet sale has a lot of things. Yes, we have other date. Yes, other date is what the date we are going to use. So you click on other date. You can even click on the date hierarchy and see how it will look like. Click on date hierarchy and you see that it has given you your it's opening up. Now you see that it has given you different year, 2010 up to 2014, and you know it is joining. So it will join up to, if you open it, you see you have quarter. You open the quarter, you will see you have month. Open the month, you see you have date. So it's just too much, and if we use this to chart our work will be clumsy. So we'll come to this field and do some manipulation. We can remove the ones we don't need. We don't need day, we don't need month, we don't need quarter. We just want to have the year. So you see it has given us the year. So you keep it by the side. So instead of you to now do a work that will show you different years separately, it is that be kept in your slicer. Then the next thing you do is you look for a gender. You can close, you can minimize this, minimize fact intercell. You can go up and look for, look at the dim customer. A dim customer, we can have what? The gender. We have gender, but before we go to gender, you go again to slicer. You see we have clicked here. Click anywhere outside of it, and now you go to your slicer again and pick up your slicer, and then now go to the gender and click on gender. It will now give you male, female. So we have now gotten the gender. We can pick it and keep it somewhere. Now click again outside. We have gotten gender. We are going to look at marital status. So we go again to our work and check for marital status. We have marital status, but we go to slicer first and pick up our slicer again. Then you now go to your marital status and click on marital status. It will give you male, female. You now close it again and put it one side. We have not finished. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to look at some cards. We create some cards. The card is just like what to give us just the numbering, so that we can see at a glance what is happening to some aspect like revenue. So we can close this, close the game customer. Look at where can we get our revenue. That will be in fact internet sale. So we can come here, open the fact internet sale and click on the sales. Mind you, you can always change the name if you don't like the name. Like this one is saying sales amount. You can click on it. Later I can show you how you can change. But before you click on it, make sure it is not showing here, because if not, it will spoil what you are doing. So click outside of this, then come to sales amount and click on sales amount. When you click on sales amount, it will give you a kind of the sales amount, the summation of, because there's sum of sales amount. Now we can now change this chart to number. How do we do it? When you look at this, you see we have a card. The card has number. Just click on it. You see it has given us just the number. So if we have done that, you can keep it one side. Then the next thing you do is you go again to, now click outside of the report, so that it will not be hovering over this. And the next thing you are going to do is to look at your total cost. Total cost has to do with cost of production, and we'll have total cost here. These names you are seeing, you can always change the name you want to appear. So when you click on it, total cost has appeared. Go again to the card and change the total cost. It will give you a figure. So you bring it again, Now we are just bringing in figure, we have not designed it. So have that in your mind. After we have done that, the next thing is to look um, for revenue. Now in revenue, we can create. I'm not creating today. I'll teach you how to create when we come. So, but now we'll leave the revenue for now because I need to create it. I know when you want to create revenue, you say sales times quantity, then we'll get a revenue. Just leave it for now. Just take this. By the time we create it, you can visit this again. Now we'll go to quantity. How do you get the quantity? You look at other quantity, click out again, go to other quantity and click on other quantity. It will give you a figure again. Go to the card and click on the card. Now it's giving you total quantity that is ordered. So you bring it and you keep it too. We have not finished. We go to the last round for now of what we are doing. All these things we can format and make better. So we're going to look at the things that we may put here on our canvas that is not this. But before that, look at we still go to look at something like occupation. We're going to look at something like the education and the rest. So we'll come up. Where do we see occupation? We'll go to gain customer again. Gain customer. We'll go down. You see, we'll have occupation, English occupation, which we can change the name. But let's leave it first at English occupation that is appearing. But before then, we click out. Then we click on English occupation. It will do something like this. Bring it up and expand it. Okay. So occupation is having some basics. You can see that you have bachelor degree, graduate degree, high school, partial college, and partial high school. So you click it, bring it, and keep it here. This is education. Make sure that everything is shown so that we are seeing what we are seeing. Then the next one is what? Occupation. So when you click out, to come again and click on occupation, English occupation, click on it. It will give you the occupation. You shift it. Maybe you expand to see if there's any one. Okay. So occupation is showing us something, which is whether it's a clerical staff, management, manual, professional, or skilled manual. So you now shift it and put it here, for instance. Now what we are creating is a dynamic dashboard. Under the dynamic dashboard, a lot of things can be seen at a time. Now after we have done that, we look at country and commit. But before country, we look at commit distance. We now spoke about commit distance not long ago. The distance in which customers come to buy. See, I don't know if you see commit distance. Can we see it here? For it somewhere else. Let's close this. Maybe we have gene geography. Let's check gene geography. We can able to English country region, Spanish region. I've not seen it yet. Look at it under reseller. Let's see if it has it. Commit distance is not there. So let's check it under fact internet sales. Fact internet sales. Okay, it's not there. So we will not work with it. If I have seen it, we'll add it. But since we have not seen it, we can work with what we have. It will still give us a very good visualization. Let me look at the customer once again. Okay, this is the commit distance. So we'll click on commit distance. It is telling you the miles or the distance in which the customers are coming to make purchase. So we can drag this here and make sure we click on everything so that none of them. Now finally, we are going to look at the country. Want to see country. So in country we are going to where? We are going to geography again. Country code, English country region. So we'll bring this out. Then we click on English country name. So we want to see if this is what I'm looking for. Okay, it doesn't have anything, so we remove it. I'm going to look at let me see the customer is look at the geography again. Spanish, English country, region code. Let's see it again. That is what we are looking for. Yes. So this is what we are looking for. So we can shift our marriage here, title status, and push this. Can bring this like this. The next thing we are going to look at, we'll look at our product category. We'll come to product category and open it. We say English product category. So we'll click out here and we'll click on English product category. So it will give you the type of the materials we have. We'll keep it here. We're still going to look at them a second time. After you have done that, you close it. So we are finally going to also look at product subcategory. So we're looking at product subcategory. So we click out and go to product subcategory. We'll now take the English product subcategory. And we have opened it. So having done this, this is what we want to bring in. Let us now begin to think how best we can arrange this so that it will look nice. First of all, this I can click on this and then come to my format. You see we have visual general, slicer setting and rest. We just go to general. Why is showing this? Because it's a slicer. So when I go to it, I look at the properties. What are the properties? The height, the rest, title, effect, icon. What can I do here? Can I change color amongst others? But before then, we now let's first of all repair this. Maybe reduce it. Then these two. Now you may also raise a question and say, why is it showing pounds? Why not naira? Now it shows the pound because of the region. For your geography region, there's a region that is there from the onset when we are setting up our work. You see global setting and the rest. So it is that setting that determines the region in which, even if you change the you decide to change the, what do you call it now, the dollar sign, the pound size to dollar. For now, subsequent work it will still come back, except if you now finally decide to do what, to change your setting. It is only what to make it to stop. So now we are trying to make our visual a little bit accommodative. Now this product category, we can now decide to change the data type that we are seeing here. We can put donut, we can put pie chart, we can even put a tree map here. Doesn't matter, but for here let's try and put a donut and see how it will look like. But normally when you are putting a donut, you are making a comparison. That way, this step that we did now, assuming we don't like it, you come over here, just click a click, it will bring you back to the original step which was there before. So you want to get a bike and want to have that display, what you do is you have already brought accessories. What are you comparing it with? Are you comparing it in terms of quantity produced? Are you comparing it in terms of sales or cost or profit? That is what we are going to make comparison. Let's look at fact internet sale to see if there's any place profit was brought up. If there's a profit, we may use profit. Since we have not brought profit here, there's no profit. Okay, what is there is quantity and the rest, and then we can work with quantity, we can work with total sales amount, we can work with cost, we can work with freight cost. All of them will give us something. So what we are going to do is that we are going to work with sales, because I have not taught you how to bring in, create, measure and bring it in. When I create the measure in the next class, you will see how measures are created and how we can bring it in. So because I have not done that, let's just use our sales amount to compare with our category, product category. So we click on sales amount. So when we are clicking on sales amount, it's not giving us a total value. And if you look at this value, it's the same thing with these sums of sales. So what the bike accessory clothing has shown us is say, so we can now bring in our donut. You see, I can also bring in something else, funnel. I can also bring in our tree. It is bike is very is the most intimidative cell among the lot. That is why it is taking the chunk. Other ones are there. So we can even bring the pie chart. So they're all giving us something. So let's take our donut for instance and then see if we can work with it. So I shift the donut to this end. I remove the year. I'm still looking for the most suitable place to place them. So I bring this one down more. I bring this one down. I shift my year here. Okay. So I shift my model status here. So something has been touched to go back and make sure that nothing is touched so that I have an original work. So having done this, I can also maybe bring this here and put this here and bring this one down here too, and see if we can expand this and also expand this. So we're expanding the mindful so that it doesn't close our item. So for this English product, what can we do? We can also do a tree map, but we can also compare it to maybe with quantity. You can compare this with quantity. So you bring in quantity, other quantity. First of all, click on it and bring in other quantity. This is not the step. We're supposed to be clicking on it. So click on it to bring it. You want to see how it will look like. You can always remove it if you don't want it. We just want to see how will it look like. What graph and what type of graph are we going to use to show it? So if I decide to still use a donut, the pie chart for instance, I've not compared it with the quantity. So bring in the quantity now. You see that the quantity has been brought in, but it does not look nice. A lot of clumsiness. So you can move from that step. Remove it from that step. You can now also take it backward one more step. You can also leave it like this. If you're not making any comparison, you can look at our mode of analysis. Let's put it and we'll look at something from here. Okay, now this is giving us information. This is a dynamic graph that is, you in formatting, you need to have a title to the work, sometimes even a little explanation. That is it. But for the starting point, we'll look at this first. Now we can be able to say what is the quantity for female, just female, in this our sales over the period under review. You only come here and click on the female, and once you have done that, you see that you're able to see the total revenue or the total sales, some of the total product cost, the cost of production as regards the product for the female is 8 million, and the quantity, now this one we are using is not correct. It's showing count of order quantity, order date key. No. So we're going to change it. We're going to change this. We're going to use just order date quantity. This is sum of sale product. This is supposed to be quantity. So we'll go to we're going to remove it. Let's see, where did we get it from? It's from fact internet sale. We're removing this, we're replacing it with this. Thank you. So it has been corrected. So we'll continue with our visualization and insight. So when you look at this now, you see that the quantity for the female is 30,000 and 2K. Now for the female that have bachelor degree, you click on just bachelor degree. See, the number has dropped too. it has also affected this map. This may not be affected because it's looking at geography region. Now, you can also ask how many of them are manual workers. You can see our cells will continue to, because we are putting in filter. How many comes from 0 to 1 mile to make their purchase? When you click again, you see it is still coming down. And you now ask how many of this cell was done in 2012, and you click on 2012. See, the quantity continues to become just like a pinnacle. Now you now ask how many of them are married, and then you click on married. You see just 351, that is number, and this is the quality of sales, and this is the sum of the cost. And even if you come and say how many of them bought bricks, and click on brick, you see all these are blank, so none of them bought this. So if you go back one step back to address that, it will bring you back again to this. So we can now, then when you don't want to do this, you can now come outside of the space for this. Just click on it. It will bring you back to where it was. Just click on it. It will bring you back to where it was, so that you can continue your analysis. Continue looking at your work. Still at 20,001, click it out. Okay, so it has brought us back. Another thing again, you may decide to look at the country. Okay, I didn't put country again. We can add country. Okay, country is here. Country is here. But we can also put country in this space. I did not put country. You can look at it and see what is happening per country. We can look at also the items. You can also use a slicer to do this. So when you use a slicer, I can maybe reduce this and introduce a slicer again here. Let's bring this project category to slicer and see how it looks like. So when you use a slicer, now go to product category and pick your product. So once you have done that, you can, this blank, we could have addressed it when we are bringing in from the initial point of transformation, but that's not a problem. Well, this is just part of learning the next step before we begin to go more technical in our work. So if we have something like this, for instance, you see, even though we have it here, we can also look at bikes. What is the quantity of bikes that was purchased? So it's only showing you bike here, 100% bike, and it's telling you that the sum of bike, this is the sum of quantity of bike, this is the sales, this is the sales, almost 90% is from bike. That's what it's telling you, and it's only showing you bike here. Now if you say which bike in 2014, it will now still show you the results. And you see 2013, this is 2013. If you say 2012, it will give you 2012. So that is it for bike. You can always, this is for dynamic dashboard. This is for dynamic dashboard. So you can do a lot of things. What is left for us now is to format it. Look at, maybe for instance, you click on gender. For instance, we go to your format. And now when you click on, let me come out again. Let me come out. Now just observe this. I'm going to click on gender again. When I click on gender, something has come up here for further analysis of your data. If you click on it, it will telling you analytic feature aren't available for this visual. This one is one you can bring in. I told you that you have key, and it's for organization. You use the organization key, organization email to enter. You can be able to bring more things to do your work. But because it's for learning process, we don't need to pay, and we don't need that sophistication. We may not need it now. But assuming you are working in a organization that is paying for this, and they have this big space for work, you can always use it to do whatever you want to do. So we can come to this and come to format. When you come to format, because it's slicer, you can see it has slicer setting. You can open it and look at what the slicer setting is talking about. The option, the slicer that you have, this particular one, say, do you want it as it is vertical list, which it is, or you want to change it to tile or drop down? If you say you want drop down, for instance, and you click on drop down, you see it has become drop down. So it is when you drop it, when you click on it, that it will open for you. When you close it, it will not show, it will not show on, assuming this is what you want. But if it's not what you want, you can come down and go back to your vertical list, and it will remain the way it is here. That is for it. Selection option, select, single select is off. You can have multiple selects here. You can select more than one at a time amongst others. So everything is on your setting. Slicer header, do you want your slicer to have heading? If you want it, you can see that the headings are there. If you say you don't want the heading, like this one is showing gender, you can remove it. You can make it bold. You want it to be bold, you click on the bold, you see it has become bold. You want it italicized, click on italize. You want it underlined, it's your choice. You don't want these ones, you remove them. Now your font is dim, you can change it. There's one that needs something to change. Your font size is 12. You can either increase it, this is reducing, or you can increase it. So this is for your formatting. Even the color of your work, it is white. The background, you can set to, for instance, push this color there. See, the font of the gender has changed. I don't want it to come here and bring it back to where it was. So that is how you continue to make the formatting. You slicer header. After that, you go to text. You look at your border. Now this border, now you click on it. What do you want to do with the border? Border position, right, top, bottom, left, where you want it to be. What color do you want? The line width, your background. Do you want any color inside of your work? You see the color. It has you can decide to maybe say blue, to show you blue. You don't want it to go back one step backwards. So this is how you continue to do your formatting. And this one is for the slicer. First of all, you can now go, can close the slicer, can close the text, can close the border. This is for value calculation. Now you can go up and go to general. When you go to general, look at the properties, height, the width of your work, position, padding, whatever you want to do, you can do it there. That is why it is called the formatting space. You want the title, the effects, how do you want it? Everything you want to do can be done here. So that is it about this. So let's go and do one more thing so that we can be able to close for today. What we have done today is to touch some of what we did yesterday for emphasis sake, because they are very, very critical and important for our work. Now we want to see if we can be able to use the composition tree again to look at our work. It's another important kind of visualization. So I brought out a new page. Even this, you can also rename it by double clicking. When you double clicking, you call it what? Excuse me. You call it dashboard dynamic. Okay, dashboard. Then you come to this one. So this is your dashboard. So here we want to do our decomposition using this for our work. So you click on it to bring out this. And also when you come to, I think modeling Saturn, there is one of them that has this decomposition. Let me see if it's in SAT. Yes, it also have it here, decomposition. You can also use it here to show your visual. So when we have done this, what do you do? What do you want to show here? We want to look at our sales. So I come to fact internet sale. I will pick up my sales amount. Now this is sales amount. You want to change this name. Come here. You see more option. Let me do it again. You see, you come here, click on it. It will give you option. Select create hierarchy. Creating hierarchy means something that can be submerging another, just like we have subcategory that can be submerged under category. We have year that you can have quarter under, and we have month, and we have day. That is what we call hierarchy. The year covers everything, followed by quarter, and ending up by number. So you have quick new major, new column, and the rest. Then you have rename. This is where I want to show you now. So you can click on the rename. Now when you click on the name, it's showing you its name. It says amount. I can come here and remove it and now say, now use maybe and write sales. So that is the name you want it to happen to take. Data type is still the same. The currency is there. You want to change it, the amount to dollar, you can change it here as I told you. Or if you don't want dollar, you can click down here. You see the different type of money that is currency that can be changed. Even the decimal point is also important here. Summarization is summarizing. Data category is not categorized amongst this information are very key. So I just want to work on the sales. So it's going to change the name for me. And once it has done that, close this one. It is now bearing sales. And when you come here, you see it is now sales, no more sales amount. So take note of that. So once we have brought this sales, we now click on it. We have highlighted this. So we click on our decomposition tree. We click on our sales. So it is showing us this. We can expand this. So that so it is still the sum of sale from its own perspective, but we know we are changing name to sales. So if we have this, what do we want to see in the sale? We want to see sale and want to see it by maybe by country. So remember we have seen relationship. So we can go to geography and click on geography, and come here and click by country. Now when we have done that, it has given us a plus here. So you say choose how to split your data. So click on it. Do you want it in high value, low value, or country region code? Now when we say we want high value, it's splitting it for us. Now it has splitted it into different countries, and then we can see that the countries and their sales value is also there. When you touch on it, you can see this is US, and it's giving us 9,389,789.5108. Remember, we'll have option of reducing this here, but we're not using it now. The next one is what? AU, Australia, has 9,000 but lower than US. We'll have GB, Great Britain. We'll have DE. I can't remember the country that have DE. Then we'll have France. Then we'll have CA. So this is by country. After we have done that, we can decide to add something else to it. We have seen the sales. We have seen per country. I can start to click on one country now, US. Look at what is happening to US. I can say, okay, can you decompose this? Can it be further be decomposed into city, for instance? Can we decompose it into city? So when I click on the plus sign again, it's add me high value or low value. For the city, I say I want the high value. So it will now run again. Now it's giving me based on the highest value. So if I say I want low value, let's go back a one step and see how it will look like. But we're going to work with high value. Now we'll go again in the US and say we want low value. It will start from where? We'll set it to start from the lowest and it goes to the highest. So let's go back again and pick our high value. So we pick our high value and click on it. See, it's giving us these different countries, different cities amongst. And if I click on this again, can it be able to give me something? So this is city, this country, region, city. I can decide to look at okay. I can pick a city here. Let's see if we can look at the sales amount for that city. Let's go to the city and look at maybe let's take quantity and see if quantity can be able to be replicated. Now when you click on this and it is no more giving you a plus, it means you have ended up on the last aspect of the composition. Now what we have done here, I can also decide to go to Great Britain and click on Great Britain. See, Great Britain has split itself to London, and if I click on France based on high value, I click on France, I will see the decomposition tree giving me Paris, another state from the highest to the lowest. So that is how we see the composition tree work. Clicking on Australia, and I want to see better, you can go to focus mode to look at it. When you click on Australia, for instance, click on it, it will give you the region, the Wollongong, among others. So this is how the composition tree works. This I'm picking the sales amount. Other ones you can pick other things I need to visualize this. The quantity did not work. So I hope we're able to add to what we have learned last time. So in summary, I've been able to look at how to use your SQL to get in data. We have also seen how we can select table. We have seen how to look for relationship in our model. We did not touch implicit and explicit. I will touch it in a few moments and we'll close for today. We have also looked at visualization both for our dashboard and we also looked at decomposition. You can now see how you can use the composition tree to be able to break your work and look at other aspects that may be of importance to you. So for the implicit and for explicit, when you look at this signs, looking at this table for instance, the fact internet table, you will see some places that have summation sign, discount amount. We say that we have numeric data and non-numeric data. So for the numeric data, anything that is numeric, the system sees it as a calculatable figure, so it puts up a summation in the front. So this is internally organized arrangement. Now when you want to use some of them and some of the table, the system has already arranged it and it has some volumes or quantities or weight. These weights are part of the internally arranged system that the computer or the environment is conversant with. So this calculation that we may do using this arranged order will give us value. This value has weight and the weight impacts on the total. Now look at it in terms of billions and millions of data. You see the weight becomes much. In this format it may look insignificant, but when you continue to load in data, remember we have big data, it will become highly significant. For you to run it, you need to pay for your space. You have to have big memory space. You need to use light. You need to also take you a lot of time. All this is because it has already been arranged. So these ones that have been arranged on their own, that you have to do nothing about it, but all you need to do is to use them for your analysis, are known as implicit or implicit function. It is implicit because it is found within the system. Because it is found within the system, it is implicit. And because it's implicit, it takes a lot of memory space, it costs a lot of money, and takes your time amongst others. So it is not giving you room for manipulation when your system is full or when it is running. Now we have another one that is called explicit. So for explicit, we are looking at those things that we can use for calculation or manipulation that are not embedded within the system but are very, very useful for system analysis. So when you go up again, I was showing you something. Let's just pick this other key something and open it for the sake of this teaching. When you look at it, you see we have new measure, we have column, we have quick calculation. These are the road or the ways in which we can be able to create explicit function. And when we create this explicit function, we can use them to make our calculation. Remember I said profit was not here and I'm not bringing profit now. I need to create a profit that I can use to bring in here, but that profit will be an explicit function, and also need to create some explicit function for even some of what we are seeing already here. What we are seeing already here, we can, like this says, I can also create an explicit function. The explicit ensure that data space, the cost is not much. It regulates your cost, especially when you are working with big data. So those functions that are outside of the internal arrangement of your data and it is values and the internal arrangement are known as explicit function. and they are very, very good. You can use them and you can reuse them in your work, and they not affect whatever you are using, and it has a lot of low memory use. These are explicit mention. I think at this particular place I will call it a day for today. I will see next class, God willing, and I hope you continue to read. I promise sending you material. Those materials will be sent before, as I'm sending this video to us, so that you can use them for our study. The study continue to help you. Have a very lovely day. God bless and